Hi, this is Jeffrey, and in this video, we are going to take a look at my new modem router combo, which is from Optimum. This is the Ubee 1340. Now, according to Optimum, or at least the technician that was here to set it up, this modem router combo is the latest that Optimum has to offer. Yes, the 1340 is the latest that Optimum can give you. Now, how did I come to get this new device? Well, a few weeks back, I woke up one morning and I had no internet. And I checked all of my connections, and then I noticed that the lights on my modem that I had, which was an Arris 1602A, had no lights. So I unplugged it and replugged it, and still nothing. It had no lights. So what happened then is I called up Optimum, and they told me that I can go to an Optimum store. Luckily there's one near me, a couple of blocks away, and so I brought back the Arris 1602, and I said, I called in this morning, and they told me that I can get a new one, or a replacement. I know it's probably going to be a refurbished one, but they said that they can give me a replacement. So at the store, they went and they checked in the back room, and they came back out and they said, well, we don't have any more of these Arris modems. So they said, well, you can go to another store. And I said, well, I don't have the time to run around to all of the Optimum stores to try and find this, modem that is probably an outdated one. This Arris 1602A has probably been replaced by something newer, because I had this modem, the Arris modem, for about 5 years since I've been living in this apartment. Now, I asked them, well, can you give me something else? And so they gave me a more modern one, which was the Ubee 1322. And they told me that they can upgrade my speed from 300 to 400 megabytes per second at an extra $2 a month. I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I returned the old Arris modem, and I took the new Ubee, or it's probably a refurbished Ubee 1322 home, and then I called Optimum and I had them, walk me through the whole setup. Well, okay, I got it set up, and there was just one problem. It was rebooting itself multiple times a day. And to me that was unacceptable, because at least a couple of days a week I work from home, and I just could not have a modem that shuts itself off and reboots itself, multiple times during the day. This was not acceptable. So I called up Optimum and I said, this is not good. I needed a service appointment. So then they said, okay. They set up a service appointment, and the service technician came out the next day. Luckily, I was able to get an appointment the next morning. And he took out a box, and he said, this is the bad boy of modems, or modem router combos. He said, this is it. This is the newest thing that just came out a couple of weeks ago. And it's the Ubee 1340. And this is a 6E modem router, which means it can transmit over the 6 gigahertz band, which is great. So that it's a tri-band modem. And so far, in the couple of weeks that I've had it, it has worked really, really well. I have had no problems with it as far as I know. As far as using it, so far it has worked great. And so I just wanted to show you this modem and to take a look at some of the physical aspect of it. What does it look like? What kind of connections does it have? All of that stuff. Now, I looked up this modem on the internet, tried to Google it. I couldn't really find much of anything about it. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight as to this new modem and what to expect if you get it, or if you want to request one. So let's take a closer look at this really, really fantastic new modem router combo from Optimum, the Ubee 1340. Okay, so let's take a look at the front of this modem router combo, and let's see what it says on the front, and the indication lights and the buttons, etc. So from top to bottom, it has DS, US, downstream, upstream, internet, WPS, Wi-Fi, phone, power, and below that is a WPS button and an info button. Now, as you can see, the phone lights are flashing. I do have Optimum phone. Okay, I don't even hardly ever use it, but I do have the phone because I get a discount with it. They practically give it to you for free. I've had this for a long time. Like I said, I don't even hardly ever use this phone, but I still keep it just for the discount. So these are the indications that you have on the front. Now let's take a look at the measurements of this router modem combo. So as for the height of the Ubee 1340, it is 10.5 inches high. It is 8 7/8 inch long, almost 9 inches. And on the top, it's 1 7/8 inch wide, almost 2 inches. Now it does flare up a little bit, or flare out a little bit on the bottom. So it's just a little bit wider on the bottom than it is on the top. Okay, so let's take a look at the connections on the back of the Ubee 1340. So at the very bottom, we have a power connector that has 12 volts DC, 3.5 amps. Above that is an on-off switch. Above that are 2 phone jacks, which is good if you have, Optimum voice or whatever telephone provider you have through your internet service. Above that is the cable connector, which has downstream, upstream. And above that are the 4 LAN ports, and they're labeled, as you can see, LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, and LAN number 4. Above that is a USB port, a USB-A port that is, and a reset button, or, you can put a paper clip in there, or, whatever device that comes with your cell phone, you could stick it in there, and I guess you can, completely reset the device. So that shows you the connections on the back of the Ubee 1340. Okay, so there's another issue here I wanted to bring up with the setup that I have in my apartment with the Ubee 1340. Now, I have a J-Link router connected to the Ubee 1340. This is a Wi-Fi 6 router. It's not a 6E like the Ubee 1340. The 1340 is a tri-band, while the J-Link is a Wi-Fi 6, but not 6E, which means it can only transmit over the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz band. So generally, from my understanding of things, when you hook up a router to a modem router combo, you generally have to put it in bridge mode for the setup to work properly. However, I don't have this in bridge mode. I do have the J-Link Wi-Fi 6 router connected directly to the Ubee 1340, and I have a second router, a second J-Link router in the other room that is connected, wired by Ethernet to this other second J-Link router I have in the kitchen. So, why did I do that? Well, first of all, the Ubee 1340 does not differentiate between 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and the 6 gigahertz band when you connect the device. According to Optimum, I cannot separate the bands out, meaning that it just won't show up on, on any of the connected devices. It will just show up as only one device. It won't have a 2.4 gigahertz band, or a 5 gigahertz band, or a 6 gigahertz band. What happens here is this smart router will connect to the device in the band or to the band that is best suited for the condition, usually meaning the distance from the UB1340 to the device. Now, devices that are connected wirelessly that are very close to the UB1340 are either on a 6 gigahertz band if the device is 6 gigahertz capable. I have a 6E laptop, and that I get the 6 gigahertz band on it. I also have a cell phone which is a Samsung S23, and it's getting Wi-Fi 6. I don't know if it's Wi-Fi 6E capable. I think it is, so I think it's on the Wi-Fi 6 band as well. Now, I have a smart TV, with a Fire Stick all the way in the living room, which is at least 30 feet away. And when I first connected to the UB1340, what happened is that it only connected to the 2.4 gigahertz band, and that is completely unacceptable. So I then connected it to the J-Link router that I have in the kitchen, which I had it connected to before, and it went back to very high speeds. With the UB1340, it would only give me 10 megabytes per second, and you can't even get 4K with that. So with the UB1340 connected to the J-Link routers, I was able to connect the TV to the second J-Link router, and I got 230 megabytes per second, which is great. So that's the only issue that I have here with the UB1340, is that being a smart router, you cannot separate the bands out when you connect the device. Now, since this is not in bridge mode, what I could say is that I have not had any problems so far in my internet, in connecting devices to either the UB1340 or to one of the two J-Link routers. There just has been no problem at all. So I was expecting a problem, because everything that I've read had said that if you don't put a modem router combo into bridge mode that you are connecting another router to, it's going to cause you all sorts of problems. But so far, I haven't noticed any problem here in this setup of having the UB1340 and then two J-Link Wi-Fi 6 routers daisy-chained to it by Ethernet cable. So that's what I just wanted to mention, because if you want to have this same kind of a setup, you probably won't have a problem with it. At least I'm not having a problem with it. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at Optimum's new modem router combo, the UB1340. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye.